Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? We've got some people on mute. You can go ahead and write in the chat. If you can hear us loud and clear, just say, yes, I've got you, or thumbs up, or whatever. Yeah, there we go. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Cool. Everybody, we're just going to keep everyone on mute for the majority of this. And then we're going to have about 15 minutes of Q&A at the end. So if you have questions throughout, please write them down, remember them, and then we'll make sure that we get to you. Again, you don't need to worry about taking notes or anything like that, because we're going to send you a recorded version of all this. So everybody that registered, you will get the recorded version of this meeting, okay? So little introduction. You're probably wondering, who is this person speaking to me? My name is Christian Ollier. I'm the co-founder and program director for Study Abroad Association. We started Study Abroad Association in 2009 with the purpose of getting these opportunities, making these opportunities available for more students and faculty. We're going to talk all about that, but long story short, this is our passion. We love what we do. You do too. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. So let's talk about Study Abroad and how Community College Promise, our initiative, it's a nationwide initiative, and how we can get more students having this experience. All right. We also have a guest that's going to be joining us today, Lindy Cortulis, and she is the Study Abroad Director at Valencia College. Her team is amazing there. Valencia College is one of the leaders, community colleges across the nation, sending students abroad. They are known for best practices, and basically they have it going on. So they have a lot to share, and she's going to share with us some tips, some suggestions, things that have been very effective for them that can also be effective for your institution. All right, let's get going. So, here. All right, guys, simple and to the point. Our mission with this is to get more students, faculty, students traveling and having study abroad opportunities across the country in a meaningful way, in a sustainable way, in an educational way, cultural immersion everywhere we go. That is the mission. Have more students having these life-changing experiences, hands down, okay? So many people ask, why is study abroad essential for community colleges? Community college students, they don't have the money to go study abroad. There's a lot of misconceptions. Most of them are not true. We're going to cover all of this. It is essential. It's absolutely essential that students have these opportunities in community college, because these are the building blocks that are going to lead them to long-term opportunities when they go on to a four-year institution, to go for a semester abroad, or to go for their remaining 2 years abroad, or to fully immerse themselves in a foreign language. Many of the students, it's their first time out of the country. So we need to provide them an opportunity that's a short-term opportunity to test the waters, have them hooked with the travel bug, and then send them on to have long-term immersive experiences later on. Additionally, why these programs are very essential to community colleges is because we can easily build courses around programs. So students are required to take gen ed courses at every college. What we can easily do is build programs that go very well with these gen ed courses to bring the classroom to life, and to ensure that we meet all of the contact hours. So all of these mandatory courses that they have to take through their gen ed, we can build study abroad programs around those. That's why it's essential in community college for students to do this in their first 2 years, again, before they go on for their long term. And last but not least, something that we really want to do with this initiative is increase accessibility to more students in different areas of study. So let's diversify programs, but also students from different economical, classes, or different, who have access, different budgets, what programs can they access? Let's make this accessible for the majority and no longer the minority, okay? That's what this is all about. So many times, too often, we hear from our community of colleges. We're currently providing services, by the way, to 150 colleges and universities across the country. Small schools from 1,000 all the way to large institutions of 100,000 students. So everything in between we're familiar with. what we hear too often is that they don't have enough support. They don't have funding for a study abroad office. It gets tied up in the administration, et cetera. And unfortunately, the opportunities are no longer available to the students. We can avoid all of this by providing 100% study abroad office support to all of these institutions, okay? And everything that we're talking about today, guys, is 100% complimentary. This is for all institutions to utilize and to make better and to improve and to share and to spread with the mission of increasing participation. So all of these things, if it comes to handling payments, how's money going to move, internal accounting, payment dates, where are students going to sign up? Can we have a landing page on the web page? We don't have a web developer at our college. Who's going to handle airfare? All of these things can be covered from the Community College Promise team, the Study Abroad Association team, for your institution as an external part of your team. So you see that as part of your team just from the outside. But all of these things can be provided, so this is no longer a problem, okay? You don't have to have budget to have a whole study abroad focused office, because we understand that there's budget cuts happening everywhere in the education, unfortunately. But now we have a solution that can solve all of that, okay? Scholarships and funding. How do we get more students studying abroad? Normally it comes down to money. Programs need to be affordable. They need to be within reach, okay? Sometimes the affordability of the programs is not enough. There needs to be other means. There needs to be other funds. So how do we solve this? Study Abroad Association, through the Community College Promise, is providing for every 10 students a $500 scholarship that can be used towards one of the students' programs. So the faculty, the administration, the board, whoever it is that makes the decisions on your campuses, they can decide who the deserving student is. For every 10 students that enroll in a program, there's a $500 scholarship provided, okay? Most importantly, and I'm sure that many of you are aware of Gilman, have probably advised your students to take advantage of Gilman. I can't speak highly enough about this scholarship program. They provide scholarship for every one in three people that, Leo, can you mute that for me? 1 in 3 people that sign up for a Gilman scholarship receive a scholarship in some amount. The max level is $5,000, but anything to offset the cost is incredible. So I highly suggest that you look into it. For community colleges to receive the Gilman, they have to have 14 days in country. You can easily build programs that can still be within reach of the students that will successfully be in the country for 14 days, so more of your students can have these opportunities, okay? Another thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that your programs, instead of it just being a trip, a holiday, let's keep the educational component to it so we can satisfy contact hours, okay? And by satisfying contact hours, we can provide a course in conjunction with it, and therefore students will be able to access Pell Grants, student loans, financial aid. All of this is under the Higher Education Acts. So if the course is being offered with the trip, students can use external funding that they have towards the overall cost of the trip, okay? Our goal is to help you, and I'm gonna go into this a little bit later, but our goal is to help you customize your itinerary so you can be 100% confident that you've satisfied your 64 contact hours or however many it is, if it's a 3 credit hour course, and you can be confident that you will satisfy those contact hours. They can use their financial aid, their Pell Grants, their student loans, etc., towards it, right? That is one condition under the Gilman, is that you do have to apply for a Pell Grant prior to that. So that's a win-win situation for everybody, and we can make that happen. Fundraising, crowdfunding. Guys, we've had a lot of success with this, assisting schools and coming up with ideas for crowdfunding, especially on programs that incorporate service learning. We personally like to incorporate service learning into all programs. It makes sense. If you're going to a country You want to show appreciation for them opening up their homes, for them showing you authentic experiences, and for them welcoming your family. What better way than to provide some type of service learning volunteer work in a meaningful way, right? By doing so, you can easily use crowdfunding platforms to help generate a lot of money that can offset cost on the trip for meals, for extra activities, or for even larger purchases, covering some of the accommodation, et cetera, on the trip. I'll give you an example with Central Piedmont Community College and their Allied Health Medical Program to Ecuador last summer. They raised over $5,000 worth of medical supplies that went directly into the community that they were visiting there. So, I mean, it's huge. We have other students at schools that come up with fundraising campaigns. All we have to use is our creativity. Our team is here to give you examples and excited to help you come up with these ideas. 1 second, guys. I'm just going to mute. Thank you. 1 second here. All right. So we've talked about office support. You have access to it. We've talked about making programs more accessible, how to make them more affordable, take advantage of scholarships, okay? Now, most importantly, a lot of times programs get stopped. They're not approved because of the risk management department, okay, at the school. We're here to provide trainings, in-depth best practice trainings for pre-trip travel workshops with the professors, as well as with the students. Emergency response, what are we going to do in the case of an emergency while we're abroad? Make sure that everyone's briefed, make sure that everybody understands, make sure that everything is crystal clear. Safety is always first, and we can avoid so many issues by having these pre-trip meetings, and then in addition, having these on-ground briefings when everybody arrives and repeating everything, going over everything, making sure that everyone understands what the emergency response plans are, what we do if someone's injured, if there's any type of emergency, where do we go, where do we meet, who do we contact, are we all inside of a WhatsApp group chat, how it's going to work. This is all provided to your institution complimentary, so you do not have to worry about this. This is continually improved. If you have ideas, I'm going to talk about this later, but we have a community where we want you to share these ideas. If you feel confident that our school has something very special, we want to share it with the rest, please share it there. And we continue to evolve with the main purpose of making sure that all programs going out are safe, secure, and following best industry practices, okay? Dedicated full-time account manager. Speak with one person from the beginning until the very end of your program. So 1 year before your program until you return home after your program. Keep communication clear, keep it easy, keep it simple, responsive, quick to act. You want to customize, you want to change things, you got it. You have a dedicated account manager that's going to be with your school, focusing on all of your programs. Again, this is part of the study abroad office that you're provided. This is going to help streamline and make programs easier to manage, especially for schools that have very limited resources. This is something that can take a lot of work off your plate and let you rest easy knowing that someone is constantly looking out for your group, okay? 100% customized, okay? One thing that we understand and one thing that all schools need is unique customized programs, okay? One size does not fit all. If we're trying to satisfy contact hours, if we're trying to build a program, a trip around a syllabus, we can't have a standard cookie cutter itinerary. We have to make the time to customize that itinerary to bring that syllabus to life, okay? Additionally, we have to understand, based on your opinion, you know your students the best, you understand their situation, how long can your students be abroad? What type of budget do we need to stay within? Understanding all of this means that we have to be flexible with how we build programs. What is the focus of the program going to be? All programs should be 100% customized, okay? I'm going to give some samples later on about collaborative trips that can be very attractive for schools that are wanting to offer a program in a new area of study that they haven't tried before, you know, if it's STEM or engineering or an area that they haven't tried to offer an international trip for, and they're like, we're not sure if we're going to have enough student interest. There's a collaborative programs that you can participate in. So even if you have small interest, like-minded students will be able to come together. Like-minded meaning studying the same, they're on the same degree path is what I mean. They can all come together on that program with a special focus, okay? But I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. Okay, this is very, very important. Very, very often we hear from institutions that there was one dean who was running everything for 20 years or 25 years, and then they retired, and now we don't know how to do it. We don't know where to pick up. We don't know how to set internal policies. We had a complete change. Everybody left. This happens all the time with institutions, okay? What we do is we provide administrator and faculty workshops where we get everybody together and we make a plan of attack for that institution based on their internal policies, okay? Understanding what kind of restrictions they have with risk management, understanding what kind of restrictions they have with budget, how many students do they have enrolling, if they only prefer to offer, fewer programs as study abroad trips so they do not compete with internal programs that are being offered during the semester. Millions of reasons. That's what these workshops are essential for. We need to have them with the administrators and the faculty to discuss programs, to make a clear plan of attack, to implement that, all in all, to grow study abroad participation on their campus. This is the purpose of these workshops. In addition to meeting with faculty and letting them know the amount of support that they're going to have if they actually do customize this faculty-led trip, and they understand that it's not 100% on them and that they do have support, local on-ground support, internal domestic support, and that they're taken care of and there's somebody there with them. This is very, very important. Also, providing faculty development trips where faculty can go have possibly their first international experience. We've had a lot of faculty members when they were going to study abroad, that was their first time abroad with their students, okay? So a way to get more professors and faculty interested in providing these opportunities is to provide these development trips and experiences, allow them to go there and have a familiarization trip, see how it works, meet the guides, visit the sites, come back inspired, and bring that inspiration into the classroom. And right there, you can guarantee that that trip's gonna fill because that professor is excited because they were there and they've got photos from there, etc. Okay? These are things that we can coordinate, we can work together, we can listen to what you need, and based on that, work these up. 1 second here, guys. Just need to, there we go. Excuse me. Okay, marketing and promotion. You've built your program, you've made a plan of attack. How are we gonna get more students participating in programs? It's gonna come down to marketing and promotion and a clear plan of attack. So, school branded marketing materials. I wanna give you some examples, okay? This is just a sample poster. I mentioned Valencia College earlier. We thought that it would be appropriate to share a poster that we made for Valencia College, okay? It's eye-catching, students see it. This is something that attracts the students, okay? If you have many programs on your campus, you might not want to have 20 posters all around the campus of different trips. Maybe you want to consolidate all of them into one attractive poster. You don't have a marketing team or they're too slow. We've got an amazing graphic designers that are ready to work this up for you in a second based on your branding, okay? I'm going to give you an example of something. When we're talking about marketing and promotion, this is an example of a trip that of a video that we made for University of South Florida. Make sure my volume's down. But we have to think, students the majority of the time are watching media either on their cell phones, on their laptops, whatever. This is reality. They're watching Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, etc., and they want to see videos and media that goes along with their generation, what they're used to seeing. So it's important, if we do want to increase participation and we do want to attract more students, that we show them educational and cultural videos that does match that. So this is an example of video, just a couple seconds here. that you can see. So this one here, we did this for University of South Florida. Basically, it's a promotional video that they can use about Peru. They have it going on the screens throughout the campus and the student union and the lunchrooms, etc. It's something that works well for them. And I see we have a couple new people who joined us. 1 second. I'll close that. Another thing that we can do is take testimonial videos of students, have these streamlining around the campuses, giving first-person feedback directly to students communicating with students. This with quotes of saying, completely life-changing experience, opens your mind, etc. This stuff is absolutely essential. And don't worry, if you don't have it, we have you covered. Okay, this is all provided with the Community College Promise. Why? Because it works, it's effective. Let's get more students participating. Here's one with Chippewa Valley Technical College. They just finished the LA Health nursing trip.
Leo's here.
We got drone footage. This is first-person testimonials from professors. All of this stuff provided to you to promote your own internal study abroad programs, okay? Next thing, what I want to discuss is the roadmap to build a study abroad culture on your campus, okay? If your school is new to study abroad, if you notice that you have low enrollment or it's a new area that you're going into, you need to look at how can we build a study abroad culture on the campus that is going to make more students aware of these amazing opportunities, okay? And there's so many different ways that you can do that, from documentary nights, from having study abroad tables in the student union, or following these 10 steps right here that are guaranteed to increase study abroad participation, okay? This is a whole nother webinar workshop that we're gonna send you the link to as well. If you would like a private one, no problem, we'll do it for you, absolutely. But basically, these 10 steps guaranteed will increase participation on your campus without a doubt. I guarantee you that. This is based on best practices from, we've taken schools that basically were offering 1 program a year to successfully running 5 programs a year just by following these 10 steps and the roadmap to build a study abroad culture on their campus, okay? Now, before I wanna bring in Miss Lindy Cortiz. Leo, could you make sure Lindy's mic is on? Lindy, are you with us? 1 second, guys. We're gonna make sure Lindy can communicate clearly. Lindy, can you hear me? 1 sec, guys. Okay. SAA team, if you can make sure Lindy's mic is on, and then Lindy, if you can hear us, just come on in whenever your mic is. I want to ask you guys some questions about the success you've had with getting so many students out of the country, and some other questions, how you guys operate internally, because I think it's very valuable that other schools would benefit from by adopting those policies. So whenever you're connected, let me know, and we'll continue. So this is the part that I was discussing earlier. Guys, if you're going to be offering programs in new areas of study and you're not sure how popular they will be with your student body, these programs are essential. So these are open enrollment collaborative programs, okay? Every year in all of these areas of study, there's roughly around 20 areas of study, but then it continues to grow. We organize and develop a special focus program in that area of study and make it extremely discounted so more students can go and have the opportunity. The reason that it's discounted is because we have dozens of colleges participating in one program, not at the same time. Don't worry, we do not like big herd experiences. However, through different times through the academic calendar break, okay? So that allows us to secure hotels for 1 month, 2 months at a time, 3 months at a time throughout the entire summer, throughout the entire winter break, etc. And the groups can come in if they're doing service learning projects. A group can pick up where the last group left off, etc. Right? But the idea is to develop these open enrollment programs So you don't have to cancel trips. The worst thing that happens is when you've worked so hard to develop a program, you have 5 students that want to go on this trip, and you don't reach whatever minimum requirement there is for it to go on the trip, you have to cancel it. For us, we hate that feeling. We never want to cancel a program. The students are excited for the trip. The faculty is excited for the trip. Don't worry, because you can still join an open enrollment program in your area of study, okay? This happens, you can find these on the Community College Promise page. You'll see there's 12 or 15 destinations this year that are taking place. You can see those there, and you can participate in these open enrollment programs that have a specific focus, educational focus, okay? And you can be sure that the majority of the people that are on that trip are there to learn about that area of study, okay? So take a look at this, and I really think that this is something valuable for colleges that don't have enough interest in one particular area, but there are students that say, I want to have international experience, I want to go do this, but my area of study or my department never offers programs. Now you have solutions that you can provide these students, okay? And like I said, guys, large group discounts because it's spread out over a long period of time, but small focus groups, okay? Groups of 10 to 15, something like that, okay? This is a solution that can work to make programs more accessible for these students, okay? Next thing, if you guys use social media, please join the support community. It's our community page where directors, administrators come together, professors, faculty, lead professors who have experience, who are new, who want to find out more. They reach out together. It's #WeAreStudyAbroad. You can find this on Facebook. This is the home for sharing anything related to study abroad, resources, materials, ideas, connecting with people, local guides, local providers, etc. All of this can happen inside of here. So you have resources, okay? We're trying to make this as accessible to everyone, okay? We'll come back to this. I'm gonna ask my team if you can open it up for Q&A. And what we'll do, guys, is we'll open up for Q&A and then ask you questions. If you don't get a chance to ask your question, because you can hang on a little bit longer. I don't want to cut anybody short. I know it's your lunch break, but we have time. We have about half an hour where we can go through as many questions as you have. So feel free to jump in and fire away questions about anything.
Hey, Christian, can you hear me now? It's Lindy.
Lindy.
Hi, I'm sorry for the technical issues earlier.
Hey, things happen. It's okay. Welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Guys, hold the questions for just a little bit longer. I will send you the Community College Promise page. You're going to get that in your email along with the recorded link, okay? We're going to send you all of this. Lindy, we invited Lindy to come and share a little bit about Valencia College. As I mentioned earlier, Valencia College is in the top 10 community colleges in the United States for sending students abroad. They sent 124 students abroad last year, over nine different international programs. They have a lot of interesting and very successful techniques that they use. And I think it's very beneficial that more schools listen and consider the way that Valencia operates and possibly adopt some of these and Lindy is with Valencia College in Orlando, Florida. That's Valencia College in Orlando, Florida. Okay. That was Lindy, that was a question. Sorry.
Okay, great. Yes, Valencia College in Orlando, Florida, we have 6 different campuses. The last numbers I pulled, we have about 62,000 credit-seeking students. We do send typically about 120 or so students abroad on short-term experiences and around 5 or so students on just to give, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Just to give Study Abroad Association a shout out, we've been working with them for 3 years now. And actually last year we ran 7 programs with them and we're planning to run 7 more this year as well.
Guys, we're getting some background feedback. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Just check your mics, okay? And then we'll open it up in a second. Thank you, Lindy, for sharing that. 62,000 students. You guys are sending 120 abroad on short term, 5 on semester abroad. We understand that that's limited, especially for working students.
Yes.
And so, how do you guys recruit at Valencia? How do you get so many students going abroad?
Well, first thing I would say is really affordability of our programs. That's key to getting students in the door. So first of all, we have a rigorous application process for faculty, and one of the key items to keep them, for recruitment as well as for approval of programs, is that our programs have to be capped at $4,000, and we like to have them more around the $2,500 range, and that's advertised cost to students. And we try to bundle as many meals into that as well, so that way students aren't hit with out-of-pocket costs abroad. With that, of course, that kind of limits the length of our program, so we do max 16 days.
Okay.
And then in addition, we give an in-house scholarship, and we guarantee that to every student that applies. So when we plan how many study abroad programs we're going to support, we make sure we have enough scholarship dollars to match the enrollment for each course. So we get our scholarship funding from various sources. We get that from the foundation, so private donors. We also get it from student development fees. We kick in our own departmental dollars. We also have various grants that we apply for, and our faculty go out and get their own endowed chairs and kick that in towards student scholarships as well. We had
Really?
5 faculty members this year get endowed chairs ranging from $1,000 all the way to $8,000, and they commit all that money directly back to students. So it just as an example, the Ireland program that we're running with Study Abroad Association, students are paying less than $1,000 out of pocket cost before financial aid to go abroad for, I think it's a 11-day program with everything included. Our awards fluctuate based off of funding, so we've got it as high as $1,800. This year it's $1,400. I also think what's key too is that with our scholarship, it's easy to access. There's no separate application. So when students apply for the program, they're automatically entered into our scholarship. I also feel like the requirements are minimal. So it's a 2.5 GPA, 18 years old, and 12 college level credits by time of travel. So that way we're not excluding students. And then it's also automatically applied by our office. So we don't hand students a check and expect them to figure out where to apply the money. We go ahead and deduct it automatically from their trip expenses. Then of course,
Much cleaner and
yeah.
easier for sure.
Absolutely, yes. And because they are college credits, we, of course, students can use their financial aid. So we have some students that are paying very, very low out of cost for going abroad. We also make that easy for students to understand. We have an out-of-pocket cost calculator on our website, and we have the costs broken up so that way it's easy for students to see what they will be paying for out of pocket.
Great. Great. Lindy, I want to ask you a question. You mentioned that you provide every student that goes on a program a scholarship that's guaranteed, right?
Yes.
And guys, I just want to mention here, because I know Lindy delivered a lot of information there. Lindy, later on, do you think that we could type all that, consolidate that, and do like just kind of a half pager that we could share with everybody about?
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Just a little report there. Just to get ideas flowing in other institutions, in their minds. You mentioned that every student's guaranteed a scholarship. So does that mean that you have a wait list, or that you tell students, sorry, the program's full, or how does that work?
Correct. So we cap our programs based off of scholarship dollars. It also makes it manageable for the office to run to have a cap. So any student that tries to get into a program, if it's already full, we maintain a wait list. Just to give you an idea, it depends on the popularity of a program, but our Ireland program this year, which we are running with you at Study Abroad Association, they right now have a 35 person wait list. So that's how popular that program is, and partially because it's so inexpensive.
Wow. So that's very interesting. If they're on the wait list, does that roll over to the next year and they're first in line, or have you guys gone that direction yet, or have you discussed that, or?
No, they don't roll over to the next year because the requirements are different for each course. So some have, for example, they may not be eligible to take a 3-credit course which has E&C 101 as a prerequisite. So we have to check eligibility each year.
Okay, understood. How do you guys recruit at Valencia? I mean, that's so much interest. What do you guys do?
I would say a lot of what we do is probably what others are doing in terms of meeting students where they're at on social media, print, in-person recruitment. But what I think that we are doing differently that I don't see as many institutions doing. 3 years ago, we started a student ambassador program. So we started recruiting past study abroad students based off of nomination and application to come and work and intern for our office for a semester during our peak recruiting times. And we use them to go in person and meet with students around the campus. I'm a past study abroad student and I like to share my experience, but I think, I don't connect with students. I'm not a current student. They don't really, I don't know, I'm not speaking their language per se, but our ambassadors are current students that have just come back from being abroad, and they really, really connect with students. There's something about current students going and saying, this is possible for you, and you can do this. So we love our student ambassadors. We have 3 to 5 each fall term. I just saw a question on there. They are unpaid. The way it works is we have a 1 credit service learning course. So they enroll in that course and they're required to give 20 hours of service back to our office, and then they earn 1 elective credit.
Oh, that's great. It's win-win.
Yes.
Absolutely. Is there anything else, like Lindy, in advice, suggestions that you could provide, the community, other community colleges that might want to adopt similar ideas or, implement ideas? Any advice or suggestions that you could give since you've been working in this position for so long?
Yes, one thing I would say is that we feel the pain. We are a small team. There's actually only 2 of us that do the day-to-day work. So one thing that we really enjoy about working with Study Abroad Association is having the one account manager, bundled services. We put a lot of the work back on Study Abroad Association so that we can go out and recruit. So we definitely thank you for that. I would say we're also very high touch in terms of customer service with our students. So we have an open door policy. Students can walk in the office at any time and meet with us one-on-one. We involve our faculty from the very beginning. So our faculty are out there in person with us recruiting students. They're showing up to tabling events. They're coming with us to info sessions, skill shops. So getting the faculty involved and also having them recruit at the classroom level is extremely helpful. Also, because we have a small team, we went out and recruited an advisor on each campus. We have 6 campuses. So we have a dedicated study abroad advisor that students can go to and get that, first information, first step from that advisor, and then get connected back to the office. And I would say too, like we do a lot of team building with students because we have a lot of students, it's their very first time getting a passport and going abroad, sometimes first time getting on an airplane. So we want to really help those students. So we have a robust orientation. We do a lot of team building activities prior to departure. We let faculty build into their budget dinners and excursions with the students domestically before they go abroad to build that community and create that support for the students that may be nervous and it's their first time going abroad. So I would say those are some of the ways that we really support students at the community college level.
One thing that I love working with community colleges, especially, obviously that's our passion, but when you have these students that are so appreciative and it is their first time abroad, it is their first time on a plane, and, they didn't think that these possibilities were available to them, or they didn't know if they would ever have the opportunity to go and do this, and then they do have it. It's incredible to listen to them, to hear them talk about, how this has impacted their life in such a great way. And, definitely makes all of the hard work worth it, when you hear that. And I really enjoy the Valencia College groups. I just want to let you know that the group's so diverse. I think it's a proper representation of the United States. And they're always happy to be there. They've got positive attitudes, and they're down to really immerse themselves as much as possible. So I think you guys do a great job on that. I did want to just bring up one point that I think that you skipped over. We all understand that the faculty are the engine behind these programs. Normally, they're the reason for the success, right? They're the ones recruiting the students. And I know that you guys do a great job of training your faculty prior to leading a group. Can you talk a little bit about that program?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a 3-month long training process that we guide our faculty through. So any new faculty member must be certified before they can continue on to lead study abroad. So with that, we have 3 courses. The first course is an intro course, which just gets them more familiarized with what is study abroad and internationalizing the curriculum and how they can do that. The second course is our big safety piece, risk management, reporting incidents, mental health. That's all bundled into that second course. And the third course is our highly intensive sort of capstone course, where the faculty are actually reaching out to providers, building budgets, building itinerary, and getting ready to submit a proposal packet to our steering committee, which chooses the faculty that go abroad each year. Our process is highly competitive. We only send about 9 or 10 short-term trips per year, and we have maybe up to 20 faculty members submitting for those spots.
Which means
So
that they're motivated, and that's what you want.
yes,
You want
yes,
faculty
we
that
get
are going to.
quality faculty and quality
Oh,
proposals
it's
out of our
absolutely
process.
it's absolutely essential. You want the faculty that are going to go the extra mile, because the truth is this: these programs, to lead these programs, it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of work, and it's not for everybody, because it is very, very demanding. But it is definitely for the ones that see the value in it, that are passionate about it, or that want to experience that. So I think that's a great way to make sure that they're really, really committed, and that they've been briefed, and that they're going to really go over and beyond for your students. And do they have to go on an international trip? Don't they have to scout a trip before they actually lead their own? Is that a
Cor- Correct. We have a training program. It's called Program Leader in Training. And so any new faculty members coming in, we pair them with a veteran faculty member and send them abroad to actually get the experience of leading students internationally before they lead their own program. And we also too, at the office level, we go abroad too once to train. So I just went with Study Abroad Association, as a matter of fact, to Italy with 19 students in May to get my training overseas as well.
That's a great trip. There's a question here that, Lindy, I think you should answer this. It says, how do you get so many faculty interested in leading study abroad programs? How do you find those faculty?
Well, I would say we like to go to department meetings around college-wide and introduce ourselves and just kind of get the excitement out there. We have a lot of deans that are very, very supportive of study abroad, so they actually go and recruit faculty as well. But I think there's just in general, a buzz about study abroad. Our marketing is everywhere. It's on TVs, it's on the marquees outside the college. We have our posters up. I think there's also just an inundation of study abroad on our campuses, and that's catching the eye of faculty members. Also, to a lot of our veteran faculty members, they want to keep programs going and sustain programs. They might want to take a year off themselves, but they don't want to give up the good work that they've been doing, so they go and recruit faculty members to take over as well.
I love that. It's very community driven. Guys, so we are running into the last 15 minutes of the hour. Lindy, thank you so much for all. This is extremely valuable information, and you've actually given me a lot of ideas that I would love to implement, into our advice for more schools. That's what this is all about, is sharing ideas. Would you be okay, Lindy, if so basically, I think the smartest thing to do this, so you don't get overwhelmed with emails, is, guys, if you have any questions for Lindy about their internal processes, etc., you can send those to our email, and we'll get those answers for you. Does that work for you, Lindy? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that works for
Yeah.
me.
Okay, cool. We'll pass those on there, or you can join the We Are Study Abroad chat Facebook page, and you can drop them in there. And then obviously, when she's not dealing with 124 students about to go abroad, then she can provide more input on all of that. But we'll make sure that all of your answers are all of your questions are answered. And yes, exactly, to answer the last question, how can we contact Lindy? We're going to connect you through the community group page. So I would like to open this up, guys, because I'm sure that there's questions. 15 minutes. If you guys can keep the, jump in, first come, first serve, we're ready for you. So SAA team, if you can unmute people, please, and we can take turns, and we'll be quick and to the point. Feel free. Please don't be shy. We need a first volunteer. I think they want to ask questions to you, Lindy.
I do see a question on the side if I could answer it.
Yes,
It's what
please.
are your benefits for faculty to garner this level of participation? So the training is part of our faculty development program, so they get PD hours for going through that certificate. So we do have some faculty members that go through it just to get the PD hours, and they may or may not lead a study abroad. But I would say most do go on to lead a study abroad.
Thank you, Lindy. Any other questions, guys? Just to make sure, my team, everyone's unmuted, right? We would love to hear from you guys. Or if you have things that are this is even more important. If you have suggestions, ideas that you would like to share with the community, please let us know what's working at your school. The brochure under useful links has contacts. What are benefits beyond what may be offered by EF, et cetera? Okay, Brian Wright asked, what are benefits beyond what may be offered by EF, et cetera? Okay, so benefits. Brian, just to make sure, is this question towards me or to Lindy? I assume it's to the SAA team. But I can tell you what benefits are. The benefits are affordability, okay? For hands down. Your programs are normally going to be around 30% more affordable. Sometimes, $1,000 more affordable. The programs are 100% customized. So it's not a cookie cutter experience where a lot of schools are put together and then everybody has the same experience that might not match what the area of focus is. So that's the core difference. Everything's customized around the professor's goals. It's more
Christian, may I jump in on that as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so we have run programs with EF as well as Study Abroad Association, and just from an office perspective, first of all, of course, affordability, that's huge, but also with Study Abroad Association, you really do just get one trip manager for each program, and so it's one point of contact. With EF, we recently being handed over to different that were in charge of different, and so it was also, oftentimes confusing, could be messy, cooks in the kitchen. On top of that, with EF, we found them to not be as flexible, whereas if just to give some real-time example, Study Abroad Association, we had a program to the was unfortunately decimated by hurricane, and within a few months, Study Abroad Association worked with us to reroute our entire program. The following year, we had a program to Costa Rica, location of that program because of a student with a medical issue. And within 2 weeks before the trip went abroad, we completely rerouted the accommodations and experience students. I don't think that we made possible by Study Abroad Association.
So thank you, Lindy, for sharing those examples. True stories. What I was going to say is you cut out there for a second. So the first one was Dominican Republic. Hurricane hit, and it basically it was a medical trip. Everybody that we were going to be working with, they were doing other community work that had a higher priority, and they weren't able to host the group properly. So we went to Belize, which was not affected by the hurricane, and they were still able to have their dental hygiene program. And then Costa Rica, yes, we had to modify the itinerary because one of the students, unfortunately, she has a severe medical condition, and we weren't unsure. Which you guys weren't aware of prior to, and then found out last minute. And then we weren't sure how it was going to, if where we were going was going to be safe enough for them. So yeah, that's flexibility. We need that. I did a trip on which one travelers. We have a question here. You mentioned a medical issue. What experience have you had with bad events other than a hurricane? Fortunately, we have not had the event which you mentioned, a death on the trip. Fortunately, that has never happened in the past 11 years. We've had broken legs, broken arms. We've had seizures. We've had surgeries, emergency surgeries. We have local guides, 100% local, always ready with the group, and a big team on ground that will always, so the group can continue to travel while we have our staff taking care of the people or the traveler who, whatever situation that they're in. So they'll always be taken care of. Safety, care, always first, no question about that. Yeah, but luckily we haven't had any issues with someone actually dying on a program, thankfully, and we hope that never will happen. But everything else, though, we're prepared for, and first care always. Any other questions, guys, about anything at all? We're it's open book here, so anything you'd like to know, anything you'd like to find out, please feel free. We've got 9 minutes. So if you got any questions, please bring them on. We'll leave it open for a couple more minutes here. And then, and if you guys want to see another video, I can show you some more videos.
Christian, can you hear me?
Hey, Leo, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, long time. I was trying to tell you before when you showed the video, we couldn't see that. So
oh, you couldn't see the video?
Nobody could see the video. If we have some time, we could show like the video now. That's a good time.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, that's because you can only share one screen at a time. Excuse me. Okay, so let's start with the one that I wanted, the resume share. Nope, not that one. One second, guys. All right, stop share. And then share here, and then this one, share. Okay, here we go. All right, can you see that now, Leo?
Yes, we can see it.
So guys, this is an example of a video that we produced for Allied Health, okay? So even if these aren't your students, that's okay. You can still use this, and we'll make it along your branding to put the idea into your students that, wow, we can have this same experience, okay? So this is a group from Belize, a group that went to Belize 3 weeks ago.
We are here in Belize with
mobile clinic trips.
Our goal for the trip is to really immerse the students in the culture here in Belize, not just kind of the tourist thing, but getting in there and doing clinics and hospital work and really getting to know the people in this area and how we can be of best help to them and have our students have a really amazing experience. Give them some experience with what healthcare looks like in different countries and to give them the opportunity to engage with the population and learn about the country of Belize and how healthcare looks different here than it does in the United States. Clinics have been fabulous. The students have learned so much. They've grown in their comfort level and their confidence and their ability to critically think.
Study Abroad Association found these doctors who are now bringing us to clinics this week, which is really neat because we get to do a little bit more. We get to interact with people better.
All right, guys. So that's just to give you an idea of a video that that you could use for your own internal marketing that you could have streaming. This is a better example of something that you can have going through your marquises throughout the campus. So straight from the students' mouths, all over the world. We put your logo on it. We make it great for you. Use it. Use it as much as you want, okay? We continue to build this stuff. I'm going to show you one more just to show you how it went with the branding. This one here is for USF Peru, so University of South Florida. But so professional videography, great shots, drone footage, and then your 1 second, that's not the one. I apologize, guys. Where's the USF Peru? The video starts with their logo. That's just the general one. I apologize, guys. But regardless, my point of this is that what we can do for you is we can make this branded towards your school. No problem. Okay, so let us connect with your web design people, whoever does your marketing. We'll have our videographers chop it up for you. You review it. If you want to remove any of the footage, change it up, change the pace or whatever, we're happy to do so. Okay, guys? Do we have any other questions? Anybody? Okay, I will share all these links with you. Everything that we covered, we'll share with you. The PowerPoint as well. We'll connect you with Lindy as well in the community chat. We are Study Abroad, and you can get in contact. So this is my contact information. This is my cell phone number, office number. If you want to reach out to me personally, feel free to shoot me an email. It's simple, Christian, standard spelling, at studyabroadassociation.com. That's my cell phone number. Anything you need, guys, we're happy to help you. Let's get more students having these experiences, more faculty having these experiences, and yeah, let's increase participation. No more days of 1% going abroad. We can do much better than that. All right, guys? I thank you for your time. Lindy, thank you for your time. SAA team, thank you for your support with the webinar and the tech. And everybody, thank you for your lunch break. And I hope that you had a decent meal, and we'll see you soon. Okay? All right, everybody, take care. Ciao, ciao.